Well, welcome everybody.
Okay.
Here we are for our third lesson on reading energy literacy. And I'm here with Mara Hagland again, who I'm about to hand the mic to say hello and to sort of chime in a little bit with what she's finding and what's happening, maybe even some observations on what's happening to you with this practice and everything else. Hello, Mara.
Hi, Artie. Hi, everybody. So yeah, I've been having some really cool experiences since 2 weeks ago now, and just really enjoying making the observations on how I'm integrating the Energies Way into my life and with my clients.
And you mentioned that you noticed something that only dawned on you to say clearly when we were just talking before the recording. Can you say what that is?
Oh, you're speaking. Which one were you referring to? With my clients, or
Yeah.
what I was noticing that what I've been doing is being so much as sitting down and doing 5 or 10 minutes of the Energies Way movement, but I just found that I've just been sort of doing it naturally on my own. Like if I'm sitting at a light in the car, I start doing the movement. Yeah, just finding different ways just to really make it more of a lifestyle for me rather than sitting down and just focusing straight on it for that length of time.
That's great. And what have you been noticing with your clients?
What I've been noticing with my clients is it just seems like the last month there's been some huge changes, and it actually made me stop in my tracks and thinking, okay, something's going on that's different, because it wasn't just one client. And I've also noticed that during my sessions that I'm naturally just starting to do that movement before I start to work on them.
Great. Now, what I heard you say when we started was you noticed something happening for your clients who include people who never thought that their lives would improve, and now.
Yes, that's right. 2 of my clients that had these huge changes, when they started to come to see me for a series of sessions, and they started to notice some little just support systems changing for themselves. But it was this last session. Funny enough, both are at their 5th session with me, and they both came in that same week and said that they never ever thought that their whole life would change so dramatically. And yeah, so when like I say, it just stopped me in my tracks, and I thought, okay, what have I been doing differently, to help support them and just help them to get through to that place. So I equated it to the Energies Way.
Well, we don't have to just equate it because we scan by reading energetically.
Yes.
How much impact was Mara having with her clients before she was improving them? Well, it's a rough estimate. Improving their energy 5%? Yeah. 10, 15, more than that? No. Over the last month, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm once again getting that figure. So that's a big jump. Very big jump. So we've corroborated that, at least by this admittedly not perfect, impressionistic, hunch-based way, but it's better than just like a gut feeling that's indistinct. Okay, so tonight what we've discussed doing
Yes.
is demonstrating what it's like to take someone who's a public figure making public claims about what they're able to do with people and assess those claims energetically using our hands like scientific instrument to test for qualitative changes and quantitatively how those changes stack up with the claims. Again, we have to say there's nothing sacrosanct about this. Anybody who does this kind of testing is like someone who's an observer who goes to an event and says, here's what I see. And somebody else can say, well, I don't see that. I see something else. That's fine. This is a community of co-inquirers, like any kind of empirical discipline. But now what we're learning is a way to extend empirical inquiry into the energy or immaterial realm in a way that can be tested yes and no, and also feeling certain qualities, the absence or presence of those qualities, also the relative quantity or degree of those qualities. So, Mara, do you have someone in mind, and you don't have to mention their name, whom you, let's say, you wonder about? You're not totally certain. And it could be a public figure you've never studied with or had a direct experience with, but you'd be interested in seeing what it would be like to do this kind of profiling for yourself
Mm.
so that you get some kind of estimate of what's going on with that person. And
Right.
how does the energy stack up with what the words are that they say? You have someone in mind?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is there is a very controversial discussion out there already on somebody doing um, a technique that, and I think you're probably aware of it too. So maybe I can say their name. I mean, it's already
No,
out there, and
no,
it's
don't say
no.
the name.
Okay.
Don't say the name. Let's
Okay.
keep this so that it be less objectionable to people, that we're not impugning anybody here. But as far as I'm concerned, what ultimately will rule with these methods is the same thing that rules in public discourse in the Commonwealth and other English speaking countries, which is if you go
Mm-hmm.
public with claims, you are inviting scrutiny. Nobody's privacy is being invaded when they take a public stand and say, here's what I have to offer. Then that's open game for assessing energetically. And I didn't make this up. I am passing on the brilliant insight and teaching of my teacher, Master Swa Kok-Sui of pranic healing, or Haddock Yoga, who pioneered this use of the hands. He didn't call it using them like scientific instruments. He didn't call it energy literacy. He just called it scanning. And with the figure that you have in mind, you now have, one of the first things you can do without getting real refined by the chakras, the three clusters of energy: intelligence, feeling or compassion, the power center, light, love, and power of theosophy, head, heart, and guts. So we can say with this person, let's just test a relative degree. How much intelligence is there? Is it? How much is this a light person? How much is this a heart person? More. How much is this a power person? Much, much more. So this person's more into power than either love or light. And then we can test, at least as far as I can tell, you know, then we can test for one of the best things right off the bat. How much is this person dedicated to service toward others or self-service? Much more self-service than service to others. How much of this person's virtue is in truthfulness? Not a whole lot. How much of them is their virtue in generosity? Not that much. How much of this person's virtue is in kindness? Not a whole heck of a lot. How much in moderation? Even less. How much in diligence? Oh, they do a lot of good in follow through. Just to take five very commonly identified ones. So, how much is this person trustworthy? Not a lot. How much does this person mislead, manipulate, insinuate claims without backup? So basically, I'd say stay away from this person if you have an option.
Uh,
That's
well,
not.
that was very good.
Yeah, that's
Very
not the
good.
last word, of course. That's just one man's reading. It's not my opinion. It's not my thought. I don't know
Yeah.
who the heck we're talking
Yeah.
about. I'm just picking up the energy. I don't know how much you're projecting into that. I don't know how much I'm actually accurately getting through you who that person is. But that's in any case the profile I got. Now, I can test
Right.
for you is um, may I test for Mara's higher guidance on this? Yes. Are you approving what she's had come through? Yes. Has she been accurate? Yes. Is she twisting this in some way? I don't get that you are. Is her own bias coming in here? I don't get that it is. Is that definitive? No, but at least it's a way to
Mm.
check whether we're being misled by various obvious possible influence. Very
Right,
good.
I see. Yes.
Okay. So now pick another one. You got another one?
Okay, yes, I have another one. Um, okay.
Good. Very good. Very good. So let's just do the first one. Light. Oh, this is a light person. Love. Oh, this is a love person. Power. Much less. There are a lot of good people like us who are a lot of light, love, but not much power. Before you met me, light, love, power. Now, your light, your love, your power. I told you, you do movements, energies way, you'll come into balance without working at it. You've come into balance there. You know that's an ideal. So this is a light and love person. Now, is it a good person? Yes. Trustworthy? Yes. Manipulative? I don't get it. Would this person effectively pass on? How much of this person's original trauma does this person still have? The original? Now, hasn't reduced a lot. How much has this person grown in a lifetime? Original spiritual endowment? 100, 200. Now, 100, 500. Not a lot. You, 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Like orders of magnitude, you. This person has not grown as much as you have. At least, as best as I can tell, so that you can check.
Mhm.
Now, are the people who come to this person happy? Pretty happy. Is this person effective with them? Not greatly. But does it mean, is there any harm being done? I don't get it. So this is not, a number one referral, but this is a good person with
Mhm.
some good stuff to pass on, just not a champion, as best as we can tell. Now pick someone who you're pretty sure is going to be top of the line.
Okay.
Okay? So how much is this person into light? Ooh, way out here. Love? Yes. Power? Ooh, power. Good. Good person? Yes. Trustworthy? Yes. Diligent? Yes. Effective? Yes. Original trauma, this person? Trauma now? Well, this person's cleared up a lot of stuff. Okay? So original and spiritual endowment at birth, 100, 200, 300, 4, 5, a lot. Now, 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15. This person's grown hugely. I mean, I haven't shared with you my calibration of that number of times, that this is someone who's grown vast. So how effective were the
Mhm.
people who come to this person for help? Very effective. Very effective. Clears up everything. How much does this person pass on the ability to clear their own original trauma? Not much. This is a big one, I've noticed. There are people who've accomplished a lot, but do not impart what their greatest gain has been. And that's typical, I've found by investigating this way, of the traditional lineages. You'll find someone who's meditated on a hill in India for 40 years who's very, very clean. But the only thing they know how to do is tell you to go and meditate for 40 years and you'll be clean too. We, in our Western way, have some expectation that if you put in a few years at something, it ought to show. And you've just seen in the last month, higher help is saying, good, yeah, that's what we want for you all. Speed it up. Because what they're passing on here is a guy with white hair is able to show someone half his age or however you are, something that you can do so then in a month you notice some pretty noticeable change. And I haven't had to talk to you more than a few hours and pass on some writing. And you've looked at some video. That's what's supposed to happen. We don't no longer need to be devoted to our guru forever. We have a teacher like any other teacher who imparts something and it works. So your original trauma when we began, I think your original trauma, you cleaned up a lot of it before you and I met. Anger when we started, anger now. Oh, okay. Let's do one of the. No, we'll save that for next time. I think we did enough for here just to give a feel for what's possible to do so that we don't put this tape on for too long and it doesn't have too high a number when people look at it. And they can see what's possible to do when you actually go and get coached to learn how to use your hands like scientific instruments to size up folks who are making public claims. We'll be accountable as a community. Thanks, Ma. Hang on afterwards. We'll follow up with our closing talk. But right now, I'll say, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next one.